G'day, this is Captain Noob and this is the light support weapon. So this thing right here, if you'd recognize it, is an SA80 and British L85 type weapon, and it is a very cool one. Now I did a weapon like this a few weeks back, or a couple of months back now, and yeah, this is a completely different mod, and it is inspired from the Fallout 2 and I believe one weapon, the light support weapon, which is basically one of these bad boys. Anyways, we'll get into these attachments right now. So we're going to make this one our semi-auto sniper variant one, and I say sniper because we're going to be using the perk sniper, not this is a sniper rifle weapon. So we're going to go for the advanced receiver and the longest barrel we can get with the best accuracy, so the long fluted barrel is that. And as you can tell, it gives you a bipod, which is actually kind of sick, but you can't actually use it unfortunately. For the stock here, you can actually have the stock have a little bit of a foregrip under it, so yeah, if you feel like role-playing like a British gunner, then maybe you could sort of use that. Anyways, so we'll chuck in the sharpshooter's grip for exceptional recoil, sure. And for the magazines, we'll definitely go for the biggest, baddest one we can get in the form of a quick eject drum mag there. Next up, for the sights, we'll put a scope on this, definitely. Just a short scope will do in the confines of Gunner's Plaza, that'll do us fine. And of course, we're going to put a suppressor on there, although there are muzzle brake and compensator options for you to have if you feel like that. Next up, we've got the paint, so you can have this standard paint, which has a brown wooden color, but if you want to make that a little bit more green, then yeah, you can go ahead and do that with the army paint, so we'll go ahead and make that green. Why not? And of course, a legendary effect is always there. So if you feel like this thing isn't quite doing it for you, then doing that, chucking on that legendary effect will definitely improve this weapon's damage. So I'm going to go ahead and make a second one of these as in an automatic fashion, just so we've got a sort of a backup weapon. But yeah, let's get into Gunner's Plaza and see how they do. Righto, here we are in Gunner's Plaza, and this is the light support weapon in first person there, so it looks pretty cool. And yeah, in third person it looks very cool also. Now, you're probably wondering whether this thing has animations because of its bullpup design, and it does, and we'll get into them as we get reloading. But to start off, we'll go ahead and shoot some of these gunners and see how this thing does. Now, this thing does use 223 bullets, which I've been told are basically the same as 5.56 rounds in terms of size, but they've got less powder in the thing, so weapons that shoot 223s don't usually work well with the 5.56s because it's a little bit more damaging on the receivers or whatever, so that's good. So far this has actually been going well. This thing is nice and accurate with low recoil, and being able to deal these constant sneak attack criticals is making this pretty easy. We'll just get rid of these turrets as soon as I can get out of this bad hitbox, and now we've taken out those turrets without being seen, and now we've dropped down accidentally. That's fine, we'll just go ahead and continue to sneak attack crit all of the people. Now, this being a light support weapon is probably more suited to be going in a sort of a full auto way, so in a moment we'll be chucking the full auto one out, and we'll be getting some of these gunners killed there. Now, the sounds here are that of the assault rifle, and the reason they sound different is because I've just got to replace a mod that I've created which makes the weapons have the same sounds as weapons in Battlefield 4, and this is the M416 you're hearing sound as a suppressed, but when we get to the automatic one, you can tell it's going to be just the regular sounds that the assault rifle would make while suppressed. So far so good. This thing is absolutely killing these gunners very easily, and there's that reload animation. Not as high quality as something like War Daddy would put out, but still a good animation, and it suits the weapon well. And in addition to this, there's also a third person variant from it, which is a lot more than some of the modders do with their custom animations, so it's really awesome to see that kind of thing there. Now we are seeing this thing damage drop off quite a bit now that we aren't nailing the sneak attack criticals back to back all the time. So yeah, this thing doesn't hit quite as hard as the regular assault rifle, which makes sense since it's firing lesser bullets, or weaker bullets I should say. So yeah, that is why it is not quite performing to the assault rifle, but it's still doing pretty well. The 60 round drum mag allows you to just keep on hitting them, and as long as you're getting those sneak attack criticals constantly, you can do yourself very well with this. So if you're playing on a lesser difficulty than very hard, you'll find this thing to be very, very powerful indeed. We'll just quickly kill that gunner there. Now the sight housing jumps around quite a little bit when you're firing, because I believe this is just the animations for the assault rifle firing, so that's why it happens like that. If you use this thing with the standard sights and semi-auto, it's really quite interesting what the animations go like when you fire, but yeah, that's something for you to try it yourself. Alright, so there's one turret left, maybe two turrets if I didn't forget to kill this one. I think I didn't kill that one before. And then there was that one gunner in the room that I didn't kill because I dropped down a little bit earlier than I wanted to. But it is worth mentioning that this thing has a Special Forces variant. I'm not going to show that off because I want to leave something to the people who download this mod to discover for themselves. That's how I usually do things. But okay, this is a little bit scuffly, this fight, but we managed to get her. So basically how you receive that is just do the jackpot quest for the railroad. So it's a pretty high cost, you have to work with those idiots to get it, but who knows, maybe the weapon might be useful after that. We'll move on to Super Mutant Town and see if this thing can hold up there. Okay, so we're in Super Mutant Town once again. Let's see how this thing performs against this. So using the 223 bullets are obviously not going to be in the game other than the mod, so how the mod integrates them into the game is it just simply chucks them into the vendors, and you can probably find this weapon on the level list dropping these bullets too, which is nice, and that is how it is injected. So if you want to find this weapon, there you go, there's your answers. And so far so good, killing these super mutants is quite a breeze with this. When we've got the sniper effect knocking them down and disarming the threat of them moving around and seeing you, this makes this thing extremely deadly, and it's probably even better to use this thing semi-auto. So we'll just jump onto these stairs, but we won't. We'll jump onto the opposite ones there so we get a good shot at him. And you know what, let's see this thing on VATS usage there. And with the double crit, we've actually managed to kill him there. Alright, so we're on the pervy stairs now, and just for the meme's sake, we'll go ahead and shoot this guy in the face a few times. Another crit. Okay, it didn't happen this time. I'm glad it didn't happen, but it's happened in the past. Thank you, Mysterious Stranger, for stealing my kill, but if we were playing Battlefield, I would have gotten an assist counts as kill anyway, so I don't think Phoebes is too chopped up about that. Okay, looks like that one has mutated because he is slightly glowing, which is good. But I've forgot about killing all of these dudes in here, so if I could just peek through there and get rid of that Super Mutant Warlord. And yep, that's good. And once we do get into a danger, we'll go ahead and bring out the automatic one. But nope, we're just too sneaky at the moment. We probably won't need it for this, but we'll keep on sneaking anyway. Definitely speeding up the time to kill on these goddamn super mutants, so I'm really glad that I've managed to keep hidden all this long. Alright, what have we got down here? There he is. See if we can't sneak attack crit him across the room and kill him in one shot. No. Not too great on the individual sneak attack criticals. I think this weapon is meant to be sort of a rapid fire in your face type thing. Although it is worth, yeah, it's worth using it this way anyway, because obviously you can see how powerful this thing is. Now the scope, okay, there we go, finally detected, so we'll bring out the automatic one, and then we'll shoot him in the head, hitting him for about 50 apiece, and doubling that if we hit him in the head. Now in terms of this game, this weapon, sorry, back in the Fallout 2, basically this thing was like the Bozar you use before you get Bozar. It was actually classed as a big gun back in that game, but in this one it's just simply a rifle because Fallout 4 likes to simplify things, I guess, so that's good. And yeah, basically the only reason you'd use it after getting Bozar is to just use it on enemies which Bozar would be overkill to. And wow, this thing must be super silent because we're once again out of the detection of these super mutants, which is great. And we'll just finish him off by shooting him in the sensitive super mutant areas. And there we go, that was this thing in Felon's Ear. And before I forget, might as well do some pest extermination while we're here. Yeah, you get a pretty great idea of how much damage this thing does by shooting at those rad roaches, but I like to be thorough. I don't like super mutants or rad roaches. And there you go, there was the light support weapon back in Felon's Ear, and it definitely did perform very well indeed, so definitely up to the task. So I don't know, compared to the assault rifle, it seems to be doing relatively on par with it. It's got less damage and less ammo capacity, but it's bullpup, so it's sort of cooler in the style points kind of way. Righto, we'll fight a monster and then I think I'll call it a video. Okay, time to kill the Lord of the Crab People over there. So, whilst he's got his shell turned to us, might as well just get a cheap little sneak attack crit in there. And wow, I think I just launched him into the sky for a second, but then he teleported back down on the ground. So if you could just stay there pinned down with that sniper effect, we can kill your lobster mate. And now we can knock you down and... oh, they're getting close. Oh no, they've actually detected me. This is a problem, so I just want to stop you in your tracks for a second. There we go. We've got him nice and stopped there because he's just sort of ragdolled in the water there. Unfortunately, I can't really see him when he's like this, so we'll just have to sort of guess where he is. And judging by the damage there, I'm hitting his shell because I'm not doing any type of damage to speak of at all. But once you get them knocked down in the water there, it's actually a little bit... it's sort of glitched because sometimes they have to sort of float to the surface or just where they can actually stand on the ground before they actually get up, and that's kind of weird. It's the same sort of thing with the knockout effect or whatever, the knockdown effect that you get, the paralyze effect, sorry, that you get with Iron Fist level 5. If you do it over water, they just seem to float sometimes, and until they've come to a complete standstill, they won't be getting back up. I should probably use the sniper one just to knock him down a little bit, see if we can get a little bit of distance on him, and then we'll go into sneak mode again and see if we can just stay here for a bit. Just get out of his detection. Okay, it's working, it's working. He's off the radar for some reason. Means Phoebe has lost detection of him somehow. And as soon... okay, there he is. Back into caution. And if we can just knock him down where he is and keep on sneak attack critting him like that. I'm not sure if we're getting those sneak attack crits on him. There we go, that's better. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. I think we're in a state of caution that doesn't really allow all that much except for the occasional one. So I'm not sure what's happening there. Okay, that's getting a little bit more consistent now. Hitting the carapace there is not doing me any favors. They're not... yes, I should probably switch over to my automatic one just so I can get more hits on him with more sneak attack criticals. So next time I knock him down, which should be now, switch over to the automatic one and get some sneak attack crits on him that way. There we go, with that little bit of extra DPS there. We seem to be doing well. And he's detected us now, so it is time to use this thing a little bit in VATS. And we're not doing too well on the old VATS action point usage, but that makes sense. It's a giant ass machine gun or light machine gun, so that makes sense. We'll quickly reload that, and with a little bit of hip fire and a bit of staggering on our part, we can finish off that Mirelurk, no problems, no claw injuries to speak of. So there you have it. I think that is a good idea of what this weapon performs like and what it looks and feels like. But if you'd like to try this weapon for yourself, be sure to check out the description. There shall be a link down there. Now, this one is a new type of mod, so don't be surprised if it's not currently ported on PC yet, but on Xbox One yet. Sorry, I'm playing on PC, so yeah, it'll be on Xbox One if the modder is good, and I'm pretty sure they are, because usually Russians, who is the maker of this mod, this Rusky dude, they're usually good when it comes to computers. Just ask Hillary Clinton. Anyways, thank you for watching, guys.